Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to W.M.S.T. This is episode number 16, and I'm so pleased to welcome one of my best friends and a guy I like to call my brother, and one of the up-and-coming indie wrestlers in the Texas indie wrestling scene. It's my boy, Josiah, aka CM Punk Universe. What's up, man?
The real CM Punk.
You know, I got a little emotional when you were making that introduction right there.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, man, you've come a long way. I'm so excited to have you here for the interview, man. It's really awesome.
Yeah, tell me why when you made this introduction, I was like, oh wait, they've been doing this podcast for a while. For some reason, I thought y'all had just started this like yesterday.
Yeah, we've been like 16, 17 weeks.
Wow, true fan.
I watched every episode.
Hey, there you go.
I know how you guys are.
Then you probably hear us cursing at each other and fucking pissing literally derading each other all the time.
Right. And we also have editor-in-chief Ziggler.
Hi, I'm not too fond of talking to a guy who always kicked my ass in 2K, but all right.
Yeah, throwback to our 2K. We used to be called the 2K Click. Me, Josiah, and Ziggler. Izzy. And of course,
Izzy and Josiah would just kick my ass in handicap matches. They didn't care.
I talk to Izzy every now and then.
2K too. That's not a surprise.
Yeah. So that was a thing back in the day.
Fuck you, Shawn. I'll kill you in 2K. I'll kill you I can kill you with my thumb.
Chill.
Whoa. Speaking of Shawn, we've got Father Suplex himself, the co-creator, Shawn.
And it is my pleasure to be in the same cellular presence as the next up-and-comer on the independent scene, the man, the myth, the legend, JT.
The pleasure's all mine.
I love that introduction.
I'm no joke. I am a huge fan after all the shit I've seen, and I know you're a pretty fucking cool guy. So yes, I'm there.
That's what Syed said. That's what Syed be telling me. He says that you're like my biggest fan, but I don't know why.
Fan. You always see my comments on your page, right? Like you're the fucking you are such a star. It's not even funny.
You're like the first comment on every picture.
Damn right. I have notifications on, but
his comments are so cringe.
I know, but they kind of they'll make me laugh sometimes. It's like the most random shit.
Yeah, that's a true fan right there.
No.
And we've got the man with no gimmicks, Cam.
I hope it becomes a world champion someday.
Yeah.
God damn! Stop rotting. Jesus.
Well, I had to say something. I had to compliment
Man, stop kissing his ass already. Jesus, my God.
And we've got the man from State Farm, Tyler.
The Warriors blew a 3-1 lead to the Cavs.
Best day ever for Josiah and Tyler and Cam, all huge Cavs fans. This is actually the holy trinity of Instagram. I began because of these two, Tyler and Josiah. These were the two guys that inspired me to get into Instagram.
Speaking of Instagram, my account turned 6 years old this month.
Hey,
whoa.
The oldest account here.
6.
No, I'm the oldest account here. I've been around since 2013.
I've been around since 2012. Instagram was made.
Okay.
Damn.
Who gives a fuck?
Right. And of course,
I give a fuck.
We've got the little brother of the group, Hound.
That's such a biggest fucking insult.
Yo, why is
the
that
Meg
so
Griffin of this group.
I mean, I wouldn't call him a brother. I would just call him a person that I know, but
an acquaintance on the group.
I think I've been on Instagram
sure.
for since 2012.
He's our third cousin, twice removed.
Twice.
He's our redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
He's my sister's boyfriend's third cousin, twice removed.
He's
that nobody gives a
basically
shit
the
about.
MCU's version of Quicksilver.
Damn.
Yo, I like Quicksilver.
No,
so
Quicksilver
that's
was
a
great.
compliment.
He's Scourge.
Scourge was cool. He sacrificed himself for the people of Asgard.
He
so.
literally died, and everyone forgot he existed.
I'm still pissed he's dead.
All right, you know what? Let's get started. So the first part of our podcast, we're gonna conduct an interview with the man himself, Josiah. Now, I'll let everybody get to their questions, but I got only one question for you. I know you're, you're making your name for yourself in the Texas indie scene. I know you've been doing a lot of matches, and I know this has been your dream to wrestle for so long. I know since pretty much the day we started talking, you've been talking about how you want to get into wrestling, become a wrestler. Like, I talked to a lot of guys that are passionate about pro wrestling, but you're like at the top of that list. You like live and breathe the business, and you study it so hard. So tell the viewers a little bit about how your process has been from the beginning of last year to all the way now. Where are you right now, and where you're headed now?
So we kind of like the school I trained at is like 3 years old, and I guess you could say I'm part of the first class of graduates here. But I mean the process is really like you train for like 6 to 9 months, and everyone wants that that debut that you overthink, like, oh, I'm gonna debut in March and I have this many months to prepare. But really in wrestling, you never really know when you're going to debut, because they could tell you like, hey, like, do you have gear? And gear is like wrestling attire. And if you're like, yeah, all right, well, get out there because somebody called out. Like, I think everybody, like 6 of my buddies that I train with, they all made their debut because somebody called out. It's never like a planned thing. So, but I mean, really this last year, I've just been trying to expand in the Texas area. I try to set goals like every 6 months. One of the goals this year is to wrestle outside of Texas, which I think I'll get there. I'm kind of just taking my time. It's really all about patience. I'm not too eager to get anywhere right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's gonna be crazy to see you wrestle outside of Texas. I know that's something you've been trying to do, but you know what? Everybody should go check out Josiah's matches he's been having recently.
Don't, they're garbage.
I mean, I've been enjoying them. I know Shawn has as well.
Yeah, like I told you, you've been starting like so early on, and you're already looking like a fucking pro.
I mean, this man is humble, but we gotta tell him like when he's doing good. All right.
Bro, there's so, like I only have like 10 something matches uploaded, but I've had like I think 30, and they're like 20 of them I haven't uploaded because I think they're trash. But really, it's just like there'll be like one part of the match that like maybe like there's a botch or some shit, and then it like in my head I'm like, fuck, this shit sucks ass, I'm not posting it. But really, it's just one part of the match.
And you gotta remember, you're literally just starting, so that's pretty normal, and because this is something new for you, so you're just gonna keep getting better at time.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's crazy because I mean, like people don't realize that like I give a lot of credit to guys who like work like TV, like I guess you could throw AEW in there now, but because those guys kind of they wrestle like 5 times a week, and for the most part, I would say they don't really change their matches up like on house shows or whatever. I've heard that it's called being married to someone. Like you know, when you're in a feud with somebody, you'll wrestle the same matches over and over, and nobody really gives a fuck because it's a different crowd each time. But they wrestle like I don't know, like maybe 300 plus matches a year, and in 1 year I've only had like 30, and I can already tell you like my fucking back is killing me. Like I already like am working around a couple injuries, and I don't even wrestle that much. So I mean, I don't think like the fans or the people really understand like just one match can go wrong, one little part, and it can mess you up for a long time. I think I was talking to Syed and Jordan. Jordan Jomo. Remember when I was telling you about that one match I had with that dude, that midget that fucked me up?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm still messed up on that match.
What happened?
Okay, so we're talking about how I'm new and everything, which we like green as at the time I was like green as grass. I'd probably say I'm a couple months in, and I'm still like I still get nervous before my matches, but like this is like when I would my teeth would clatter or whatever, and I would like be sweating and I would be like freaking out, like having an anxiety attack or whatever. And I'm wrestling this fucking I don't even want to say his name because I ain't trying to be a hoe. I ain't trying to snitch
Yeah,
on this
screw
dude.
that guy.
But let me just say he works strong style because he's a midget and he's untalented as fuck. He has no skill whatsoever. So he just decides he's gonna work stiff. He's gonna work dangerous. And I'm in a triple threat match with this dude, and in triple threat matches, there's like you work like one guy has to be out for the most part, like the whole time. Like you switch, it's like you switch off. So at one point, I'm in the ring with one of my friends, I guess, and we're going through a spot that we talked about in the back, and then this other dude comes in back into the ring, and he just cuts us off. And both of me and my friend are like a couple matches in, so like when you cut a guy off like that, and I've experienced it now since I've wrestled people with less experience than me. If you cut somebody off and they're that new, they're gonna freak out because all they know is like what they were told to do or what they remember, like what they called in the back. So they like freak the fuck out. So I'm like, oh shit, he just cut us off. I don't know what to do now. What are we gonna do? And I'm in there looking stupid, and the guy legit like starts throwing a fit in the match. He's like, what the fuck? Like, cause I guess we're not doing something like doing what he wanted to do, but I mean, I don't know what this guy expected. And then he just starts stiffing the shit out of all of us. And he kicked the crap out of my ribs. And then he picked what's Goldust's finisher? What's that called? Y'all know what that's called?
Shattered Dreams.
The one where he's like picks you up for a suplex and twists you. That one.
Yeah.
Curtain call, I guess.
Curtain
Yeah,
call, yeah.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah,
So he picked me up.
Dreams is with the ball.
He picked me up for one of those, and you're supposed to take a flat back bump. It's just, you land your back flat. But I guess since he was so mad, he like twisted me really fast. I landed like on the side of my back, and then he picked me up for I think it was a brain buster or something. And when you're going for like a brain buster or anything, you kind of just want to like fall with them. But he like forced, and I told the booker, which is my trainer, I was like, I'm never working this dude again. The first 30 seconds, he went for a shoulder tackle. He knocked my mouth guard out of my mouth. It like flew into the fans. And I was like,
That's
fuck.
a souvenir.
I was like, fuck, man, I needed that mouth guard. I was like, I only have one. But yeah, this dude was just an idiot. I don't even know who the fuck trained him, but yeah, I got a little off topic there, but there are some people in the business that shouldn't be in the business. They have a bunch of egos and they're dangerous. And now I'm sure there's multiple guys, but I mean, like right now, like I feel it every day. Like there's something wrong with my back, but I don't want to get it checked out right now because I feel like they tell me like bad news or something.
Damn, yeah, it's harsh reality. And Shawn, you had another question, I believe. Go ahead, Shawn.
Yeah. Where did you come up with JT Royce?
Oh, that's a funny story. Okay, so this is another like I guess fuck. I hope nobody hears this because then I don't even know. Like, see, I've never like been told like these things like, hey, if you ever like go on a podcast or something, you can't say this, you can't say that.
Nobody
I never
listens
had
to
this
our podcast anyway, so you're fine.
Okay, so there's a lot of unwritten rules in wrestling, and another one, like my trainers are super old school, like old school as fuck. And I mean, there was a part in the beginning where I was like, man, I don't like this old school shit. But nowadays I appreciate it more. I guess it's kind of helped me just how like strict they are. But so old school, you don't get to pick your name. The trainers pick your name. And that bugged the shit out of me because I was like, fuck, like how are you gonna give me a name and then I have to like work with it, but it's not me. But I guess it's just reality. And I guess I kind of convinced them a little bit because I was like, just let me use JT at least because that's like my first and last name, and that's what people call me at work. Like when I was working at a retail store at the time, and I don't know, like people can't pronounce my name. It's like I don't like not even like people who aren't from the U.S. Just nobody. Like my next door neighbor can't pronounce my name. It's just this dude's whiter than me, so I don't even know like if it's just like it's weird. But so people just call me JT. So they're like, all right, well, okay, we can use JT, and they're like, you got to come up with the last name by I don't know a week, because that's when I was gonna wrestle, because some guy called out, thankfully, like a week ahead. So we're at the building the day of the show. I'm gonna make my debut. I still don't know what my last name is. We got locked out of the building, so we're out there in the front, and like we're all in a circle, and they're all like going over names, and I had a list. I wonder if I still have it, but they were just like names of like I guess like actors or people that I liked. And they didn't like any of them. My original one, I wanted my last name to be Mendez, but they didn't like it. They're like, you're not Mexican enough for that. And I was like, how you gonna tell me I'm not Mexican enough? They're like, you don't look Mexican. And I was like, okay. And then they're like, they gave me Royce or another one, and I remember the other one was so bad, like I kind of like threw up just thinking about it. So I was like, I guess Royce. I forgot that there was a wrestler named Peyton Royce. I didn't even look. This is how much I'm not even into the current product, because I didn't even like.
At least your name is iconic.
You know, you're right.
But
now I'm happy.
I will
Hey,
show myself
let's
out.
go.
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
show myself
I'm
out.
happy now. Like I've been using it for a year, so I like it now. But at the time, I was like, fuck, whatever.
I did have a feeling you were gonna say something like, did trainers pick your name? Because I've always heard stuff about like even Jericho got Cowboy Chris Jericho from Casper, Wyoming. You know, people get shit just given to them by the trainers. But
Yeah, I don't know if that's like just old school. Like I don't know if schools do that nowadays, but I know my trainers do it.
They're keeping to the old ways. That keeps still alive. You know, that could be a good thing and a bad thing. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And Cam, go ahead. You had a question too.
My question is, like, I'm trying to think of a question. I didn't have one, before, so I'm trying to think of one on the fly.
Unprofessional,
Do you have
man.
a favorite
Unprofessional.
match?
Are my answers too long? Should
Oh
I
yeah,
cut
no,
this short?
no.
I'm
Go as
asking-
long as you want. No
We're
problem.
fucking.
You're
This
good,
is
yeah.
enjoying.
Do you have a favorite match?
Favorite as in it was like the most fun in there, or favorite like it was probably my best match?
Both. Best and your most fun.
Oh shit! Oh my god, go through my phone real quick. I'm very critical. My trainers tell me I'm too critical of myself, but like, there's only been one time where I've gotten to the back and I was like, damn, that was good. Like I had fun out there. Usually, like I'll come to the back and I'm like, fuck, that sucked ass. And they're like, dude, chill. It wasn't even bad. I'm like, nah, bro. It was the most trash thing I've ever seen. I don't know why I'm always critical, but I think my favorite match is against a guy named I don't know if y'all have seen it. It's against this guy named K.O. Cox. Have y'all seen that one?
I
It's a-
think
this-
so.
He's like a strong style. He's a strong style worker too. It's on YouTube, but yeah, I had that one really early. I think like 6 months in, and it was like a title match, I think. And
Was that your first defense? Sorry, not your first defense. Your first title match?
yeah, that was the first one.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember that. I remember seeing that match. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember usually like when you're new, they'll tell you, all right, you have like 8 minutes. Go out there and usually like they're like another unwritten rule. They don't put rookies with rookies. Usually, like I know you like your favorite wrestlers. Like I couldn't name one right now, but like I don't know, like Punk or D-Bry or Adam Cole, whatever. When you watch their early stuff, they're always wrestling somebody else that's really young with them. I don't know if that's like a thing up north, but like down here, like where it's old school, like they don't ever want to put you with someone who's a rookie too, because then you'll have a garbage trash match. So they try to put you, yeah, they put you with like, not when I say vet, I don't mean like some 50-year-old old fuck. I mean just like a guy who like knows what he's doing, and you learn. So I was like 6 months in, and they put me with this guy. I think he's been wrestling for like 3 years. And it was like my first match that was like gonna be above 8 minutes. I think it was like 17 minutes or something. And I was like super, super freaking nervous for it. And I really appreciate like when guys like take care of you in there, especially when you get lost. There was I told Syed about this. I sent him a clip when it happened, but I think we were like 2 minutes in the match, and I was on the top rope, and this dude like he kicked me in the face, and I fell off the top rope, and I hyperextended my knee, and I thought I tore something, but I didn't tell the guy I was wrestling. Like your trainer always is supposed to tell you like if you get hurt, you know, tell the guy you're hurt. But then it's like, nah, I fuck. Like people have a lot of ego, they got a lot of pride, and I you know, it's my first like I guess big match here at the promotion I'm at. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell this guy I'm injured and we're gonna take it home in like 2 minutes. Taking it home is like finishing the match. But yeah, like I thought for a second that I probably tore my ACL, and I've never like, I don't think I've ever like broken a bone or anything, or I tore something in my elbow in high school in a wrestling match, but that was it. So I didn't tell him that I was injured, and later on in the match, I picked him up for like a standing suplex, and my knee gave out, and I almost like brain busted this dude, but I set him down just in time, and I let my knees like bend. And if you watch the video, it looks kind of painful on me because I was trying to protect him as I went over because I didn't know my knee was gonna give out. But yeah, when I got to the back, they were like, "Oh, that was a really good match, Phil. What the fuck happened with your knee? Like, why could you not pick him up?" And I was like, "I think I tore it or something." And then I took off like my tights and I looked at it, and it wasn't swollen or anything, and it didn't hurt. It was just like I couldn't feel anything, and I was just like, well, if I can walk on it, that must mean like it's not torn. I mean, I'm not Triple H or whatever, so I guess it's fine. But yeah, that's probably my favorite match because like everything that happened, you know, I guess I was tested, and not that they tested me, but I guess the fact that I got injured in the match, like the first 2 minutes, and I still went like 15 more minutes, kind of helped me early on. I was proud of that I finished it.
Yeah, great match. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Tyler, go ahead with your question.
All right. I don't have a wrestling question like the rest of these guys, but I don't know if
Well,
you
fuck
still.
you too, then.
Sorry, I don't follow wrestling that much, but I know you used to follow basketball a lot, like NBA. I don't know if you still do.
Yeah.
But obviously, in recent years, there's one dominant team in the Warriors. I know you know that as a Rockets fan. I'm pretty sure you're still a Rockets fan.
Of course.
And I'm a Cavs fan, so I know the pain too. What do you think a team has to do to take down the Warriors, or what has to happen in the NBA, do you think, to take this team down?
Okay, so like a lot of people who don't watch basketball, you know how the typical casual fan, they're just like, oh, you know, Warriors, they have 5 All-Stars or whatever. There's like, you know, it's like cheating, which I mean, I kind of somewhat agree with. I mean, I feel like when it was just Draymond, Steph, and Clay, they were dominant. They were a championship team anyway. And then they added Durant, but they're still a beatable team. But I feel like what the Warriors do best is that they're unselfish. Like they don't care like who's a star player. Obviously, I mean it could go both ways with Steph or Durant, but I don't think they give a shit. They just want to win. Especially like Kevin Durant, you know, he went to the Warriors, and I remember when that happened. I think I just graduated high school or something, and I was like, you know, being a little bitch about it, like, you know, fuck Kevin Durant or whatever. But yeah, I think they don't have as big as advantage as people think. Like it's basketball, and they've been beaten before. I think it's just because of recent finals. You see, I think the last 2 finals with the Cavs only got 1 win out of what?
Yeah.
I don't know how many games they played, but they only got 1 in 2 years.
9 games, yeah. 1 out of the 9 games.
They should have won 2. But JR.
Yeah, we should have. Don't remind me.
God, that was the worst day ever. I was so mad. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you smoking, bro? Oh, dude.
You had one
I don't want
job.
to be. Dude, that's
all you had to
that's
do
such
was
a
follow
meme.
the damn train.
But yeah, I think this is Milwaukee's year. I feel like, especially, did y'all watch the game tonight? Did you see it? They won.
Yeah, they dominated.
I did not.
I think the Bucks are gonna take it this year. I mean, I'd be surprised if they don't. But then again, it's like Golden State is Golden State. They have eventually they'll be taken down, but I think the Bucks are the team to do it. I don't think they'll get past the Trailblazers, honestly. I mean, I know everyone likes this whole Seth and Steph thing, but I mean, I think there was a post today on Bleacher Report that was like, oh, Seth and Steph combined for 53 points. And somebody said, yeah, that's just like when Kobe and I forgot the other guy combined for 81 or 82 or something.
Luke
And Kobe
Walton,
and Kobe had like 81 points, and the other guy had 1. Not shitting on Steph, but I'm just saying, like, they're two different players. Steph's like in another league. But yeah, I think Golden State will. I think Portland will get 1 win, at least 1 win, and then it'll be Bucks and Warriors in the finals.
Yeah, Bucks in 7.
And 7?
Yeah, I'm saying 7.
You've been saying the Raptors, haven't you? Right?
Yeah, I've been saying the Raptors. I still predict the Raptors, but if the Bucks get to the finals, I say Bucks in 7.
Oh, you think they're gonna make a comeback?
I
Kawhi
think
and
so.
the Raptors.
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
so.
They're kind of cursed. LeBron cursed them.
We'll see. I feel like the next 2 games will be very telling at home at the hostile Toronto environment. We'll
To
see
be
how
fair,
that goes.
Kawhi's never really been given a fair chance. He's always kind of gotten hoed the last couple of years. There's always something, and now
Right.
he's like healthy and he's on a good team. So yeah, I think I hope it's competitive. I don't just like to see a sweep.
Right. We'll see how game 3 goes. All right, Ziggler, you got a question for my man Josiah here?
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen like a few of your matches on YouTube, and they're still pretty goddamn good. I'm actually surprised. I'm actually kind of surprised it's good, because I'm like, holy shit, there's a guy who's always beating me in 2K. Like, he can actually wrestle. Who knew?
Everyone beats you in
I know.
2K. I was surprised.
Shawn, stop being a little cunt for once. But yeah, I'm also. But yeah, it'd be awesome. It'd be crazy and awesome. Like in like a few years, if you were like to go to like PWG or ROH or even like GCW, like would you like want to go to those companies or promotions?
Yeah, actually, I haven't really told anybody this. It's kind of been on the down low, but I'm actually trying to and when I say I'm trying to go to Japan in the next couple of years to train, and I actually have somebody who's, I'm not going to say any names, but I'm sure y'all can figure it out. I got somebody that says that he's going to help me do it. So I'd like to go over there to hone my craft. I mean, a lot of the guys that I watched, they were in Japan, and their first couple years they went there. So, I mean, I'm trying to like follow in their footsteps. I know a lot of people because in Japan, it's like they take it like as a real sport. Like the fans respect it, and that's something that's a big deal for me. Like I mean, I like wrestling overall, but sometimes and I know y'all see this on Instagram. Like some people can just be like, they're never satisfied, and they'll complain about the dumbest stuff. Like, did y'all see when Roman Reigns was diagnosed with leukemia? People were saying that it wasn't real.
It's fake. It's just for the Rock's movie. It's fake.
I was like,
it was
dude.
a work just to get him
It was a
more
work.
over.
Can you
I think
imagine
Dave
the
Meltzer
backlash
reported
we
that.
would get because of that?
Fuck
It
that
was
dude,
me
Dave
all
Meltzer.
along.
No,
Man,
Dave
my
Meltzer,
friend
I
was
think,
bullshit
reported
on
that like it
post.
wasn't as serious.
It was bullshit.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, he said it wasn't that serious.
Yeah. Also,
It was like a
I've
mild
seen.
case.
Also, I've seen like a few pictures with you and Sammy Guevara. Do you like train with him? Like, 'cause I know he's a fellow Texan too. So.
I met Sammy. Let's see how old was I? I met Sammy when I was like in junior high. He was working at the YMCA. And he was like a nobody. He was like a couple years in. I met him. He was like a personal trainer or something. I found out he was a wrestler. It was like the first wrestler I ever met. And he was this dude like when he was like a nobody, and I saw him like progress and grow. So it kind of like lit a fire in me, like this is possible. Like now this guy, I don't know what he's making, but I do know that he just moved out of his other apartment and he's getting a new one. So I know the money's got to be good. He's successful. So yeah, that's like, I wouldn't say me and Sammy are like what's the word? Like we're like best friends or anything, but we definitely are like, we're friends, and I know he's busy, so I don't like to bother him a lot, but we keep in contact and we talk sometimes.
Yeah, man. Sammy's so cool, man. Shout out to Sammy Guevara. He's gonna make his AEW debut on next Saturday in the pre-show. So good luck to him.
Man, screw the pre-show, man. That's some bullshit.
I know he should be on the main card.
He's one of the best wrestlers right now. He's so good.
Yeah, so good. All right.
I got one more question because he brought up companies.
Yeah.
This is kind of like this just hit me right now when he said, do you want to go to PW or anything? Would you ever do CZW?
Did you say CCW?
CZW.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I would. In recent years, I mean, I've watched some of their stuff. It's not like, are they not as hardcore as they used to be?
No, I mean, they're still like pretty hardcore. There's worse ones. Like, I don't know if you know who Matt Tremont is.
I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, he's one of the like most extreme like hardcore wrestlers to this day, and with the exploding wires and exploding bats type of shit. Like, would you go that extreme with like barbed wire ropes, concrete mat type things that they do?
My whole thing is like, there's got to be like a payoff for it. Like, I sound like I sound like I do with an ego right now. But I like for matches like that, like we're trained, like that's how we're trained. Like, we're always told like, don't do like a high risk move. Like if you like, especially like even if you're good at it. Like let's say you can do a 630 like with your eyes closed. Like don't do it if you don't have to do it. Like, you got to build up and get a payoff for it, so you don't just do it in the first 30 seconds or like, and not saying like, don't give your all in front of like a 5 people crowd, but there would have to be like a payoff for it. I would not do it for a hot dog and a handshake. Definitely not. I would not do that.
For a decent pay, you would take a flat back off the top onto concrete slabs?
Yeah, why not?
There you go.
That's the man. And Hound, your question?
All right, so I've been wanting to be a wrestler since I was like, I don't know, 10 years old or something, since I started watching WWE, and I still do want to become a wrestler. So what, like, are you scared of like, let's say your opponent like tells you to do a certain type of move, and like you forget like how to do that move? Are you scared of like something like that ever happening to you?
So we're also trained like, if you're not comfortable doing something, don't do it. That's my biggest thing too. I'm trying to say this without sounding like a douchebag. There's so many people in wrestling that like think they're hot shit that haven't done anything in wrestling. I can't say any names, but like every little promotion will have that guy that thinks they're like hot shit, but they never made it. And they'll be like, man, I'm the vet. You're going to take this move. You don't have to take that move. If you don't want to take it, you tell them, I don't feel comfortable taking that. I'm not going to take it. And you won't get shit on for it. Because, I mean, people like, that's your life. If you get nervous, okay, let's say you know how to do the move, but you're nervous because it's this one guy you're taking it from that has a known reputation for being dangerous. If you get nervous and you freak out, you could potentially like mess yourself up and mess that person up. So I wouldn't say I've been in a situation like that. I mean, okay, so like I had a match like a couple weeks ago with this guy, and he's way bigger than me, and I'm not really like a lucha guy. I've never trained lucha. I'm more of like a grappler, technical style. But this guy was like, I don't really want to do any of that because it wouldn't make sense because I'm bigger than you. And I was just like, okay, if you don't want to take my shit, what do you suggest we do? He's like, whoa, why don't you give me I don't know, I don't even know the terms for these moves. It's like some Hurricane or Frankenstein or BS. He's like, why don't you give me that? And I'm like, not like a basic one. It was like some weird one. And I was like, I've never learned that in my life. In wrestling, if you haven't done it like 20 times in the ring, don't try it in a match, which I've broken that rule multiple times. But that's another unwritten rule. Like if you haven't done it like 1,000 times in practice, don't do it in a match. And I had never done it before, and he was like, can you do that? And I was like, yeah, I can do it. I've never done it before though. So we go out there, and I'd have to find a clip. It's just like some basic. Do y'all know what an up and over is?
Yeah.
So it's like you send them to
Like
the
when
corner.
you get
Like okay, so they send you to the corner, they send you off, and you're like running towards the corner, like you're gonna eat the turnbuckle, but you up and over them. Like they eat the corner, you jump over them.
yeah.
So it was like he wanted me to do this thing where I jump over him, but like God, it's so complicated. But I like twist in midair, and then give him a Hurricane Rana from there. But it's like I kind of have to 180 myself to get to where where his head's at. So I was a little nervous, but it's really all up to you. I wouldn't say don't ever feel like you have to do something, especially if you're like really new. There's some people who try to make you do stuff like, there was a post going viral today, like I guess in the Texas area for indie wrestling. It was like somebody was saying, I disagree with when a new guy comes into the business, everybody feels like they have to give them welcoming chops, like just chop the shit out of them and see how much they can take it, and then they just end up running that kid off and he never comes back. It's like an old school thing. My school doesn't do that, but some people do. And I actually don't get shit for this. I've said it straight up. I don't understand how they can take themselves so seriously when it's fake. It's not real fighting. Like you can't. This guy's letting you chop him, but it's like they feel like they have to chop them 1,000 times until they got welts on their chest. And yeah, I like I said, just don't take any, don't do something you're uncomfortable with, because you put each other's lives at risk when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good lesson for a lot of up and coming wrestlers. Sounds really good.
Yeah, and I got I just gotta say, because I remember it just hit me that I know you've watched Breaking Bad. This is the last question. What is your favorite episode of Breaking Bad?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Man, oh, you got me there. Oh, okay. That's like my favorite show of all time. I've gone back and forth. A couple of years ago, and I know some people will take a big dump on The Walking Dead, but a couple of years ago, before Negan, I thought that was the greatest show ever created. But after recent years, Breaking Bad is my number one. But my favorite episode, I know there's God. Oh, I know. It's probably where they kill Hank.
Ozymandias.
Ozymandias, dumbass.
That's what I said.
Probably the episode. What's the episode where that Nazi gang kills Hank?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's my favorite episode.
Yeah, it's by far the greatest TV show ever made. Right? It's the best.
It is the best. And did y'all hear they're making a movie?
The Breaking Bad movie is gonna be the best thing ever if it's about Jesse and he's.
Isn't it straight to AMC?
No, I heard it could go into theaters.
I think AMC is producing it.
It's gonna be on Netflix and on AMC, but Netflix.
Oh, so it's not gonna be in theaters?
No, it's not.
Oh, that sucks.
It does. But do you think they would get Brian to come back for it and somehow? Because
he's dead.
I know, but he's rumored to be in it for some reason.
He might be like a flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, because like if you think about it, that Jesse like absolutely like hated like Mr. White. Like even at the end, he didn't want to kill him because he didn't want to give him that. He was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it for you. You can fucking do it. So I mean, that dude like haunted him. So I'm sure like, and I always wondered what happened to Jesse like afterwards. Like I always
Me
thought
too.
like what happened.
It bothers me almost every day. It's because I've seen Breaking Bad like 16 times, no exaggeration, and every episode still like gets me. Like, oh my god, the suspense, and always seeing Jesse drive off is like, shit. What the hell happened? Does he go to Brock? What does he do? Like,
Yeah, I watch it. I watch Breaking Bad like it's a normal thing. I watch it once a year so I can like not that I'm gonna forget what happens, but I kind of like let me like, I take it all in and I slowly like start doing other stuff, and then once the year is up and I'm like, oh, it's time to watch Breaking Bad again, and then I watch it again and it's so good.
I wish I never watch it so I can watch it again. Like
you could forget everything, so you could like not know what happens.
I wish I can do that again because that show is so good.
I would watch it so often because when it would end, I'm like, what happens next? And I can't like, I get so frustrated. I just have to be like, okay, I just gotta see it again. And like, I'll pretend it's like new again, and it still gets me. And then I'll wait like 6, maybe 7, 8 months, and then all right, I gotta do it again. The addiction hits you again,
Yeah, I mean, I forget the guy who directs the show, but he's a genius.
Vince Gilligan.
Yeah, Vince Gilligan.
Yeah, that's so cool. Awesome.
Also, one more thing. What do you prefer to wrestle in? Just tights or like long pants?
I like trunks because I like to show off my thunder thighs. Dead ass.
Awesome.
That's just me though.
Yeah. All right. So with that, thank you, Josiah, for your injury portion. I'm gonna sling back to you when we get to the NBA topics.
All right.
Sounds good. All right. Now John Wick 3 came out this weekend.
John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum.
Chapter 3 Parabellum. Sorry.
Specific.
My bad. Very specific.
That's the title of the movie.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm hoping to check it out probably next weekend. But we had Ziggler, I believe, and Shawn, or just Ziggler.
I did not
see the movie.
Any of them.
Yeah, I would have gone with Shawn, but he's a little bitch. He didn't want to see any of them.
I haven't had the time to see them, you self-righteous prick.
You haven't had the time, but you can watch Breaking Bad 16 times.
Exactly. I was watching Breaking Bad.
Damn. All right. So Ziggler, let's
Both
get
John Wick movies are 2 hours, and Breaking Bad is like what, 80?
What the hell? That is the worst math I've ever heard in my life. An episode of Breaking Bad.
I never claimed to be a mathematician.
And an episode of Breaking Bad is 45 to 50 minutes, you self-righteous prick.
You're a self-righteous dipshit, you fucking jab cunt.
All right, calm down, boys. Calm down.
Yeah, we got guests here. Calm down.
What? He's heard me curse before.
I know.
Oh,
way
shit.
back when in 2016, I think. What 2015, 2016? So 2014? I don't know.
He's still.
Yeah.
I thought he left. I didn't know he was still on the line.
Oh no, he's still here. He's gonna be here till we get to the NBA topics. All right. So Ziggler, go ahead with your non-spoiler review for John Wick 3.
Oh, non-spoiler. All right.
Yeah, we'll talk spoilers next weekend. We'll probably have more people watched it by then. Right. So yeah.
Yeah. This movie just left me fucking speechless. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. And I'm gonna be cursing a lot through this because I want to.
Oh, you're cool.
I am cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, this may be like the best American action film of all time, and I'm not counting like the Fast and Furious franchise or the Mission Impossible franchise, because Nobody's jumping off a building through another building or driving a car through another. Driving a car through a building through another building. Like nobody's doing
Into
that
a
shit
car.
in here. Yes, into a car. Yeah, no silly shit like this. No, this is just like a pure action film. And the stunts in this movie, my fucking god. That's when a former stuntman as a director pays off. Also, when I saw I'm gonna butcher their names because I don't know. I really don't know how to pronounce their names, but when I saw don't laugh at me, Shawn. Yan, Rian, and Sesep, Arif, Ramen from the Raid movies in this movie. Fuck you, Shawn. That's his last name, Ramen or
Okay, but-
Rayman. It's something
What?
like that. He's Thai, you dumbass.
Great.
But
no,
yeah,
not
when
ramen.
I saw both of them in the Raid movies, and then I didn't know they were in this movie, and then when I saw them, I was like, holy shit! Like these are two like great stunt actors, and we're gonna get some fucking great action in this movie. And did we fucking ever? And we got some really kick-ass action, and also the fucking camera work and the cinematography with the long takes and the wide shots. You can see everything without questioning, wait, what's going on? Like most action films today, like with most action films would just like take like 3 different cuts to show someone punching someone. No, you can see fucking everything. It's beautiful as hell. It's just every action set piece was just masterful and beautifully choreographed. Choreographed. Shawn, why you gotta be a cunt? And directed. Even from the get-go, when it starts with a bang and ends with a bang. And this might be, and it just might be the best pure action trilogy just because of its consistency. It's the best this movie is the best in the franchise in my opinion, and the story was great. And you can just feel the intensity, just the urgency, the grit throughout this movie. I really can't think of anything wrong with this movie other than when the credits started to roll. I wanted to see more. But John Wick is one of my favorite franchises today, and the third installment did not disappoint. I'll give it a 9.4 out of 10.
9.4 out of 10. Awesome. So our WMST's official score for
Fuck you,
John
Shawn.
Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum is 9.4 out of 10. Awesome. Can't wait to watch it. All right. So with that, let's move on to our next topic. Let's talk Money in the Bank. Now, I know a lot of us haven't been that interested in WWE right now, especially me. So I don't know much about what's going on. I know Cam and Hound probably do, but I just want to talk about who should probably get the Money in the Bank briefcase.
But yeah, I mean, personally for me though, I'm thinking Andrade should probably win the Money in the Bank briefcase because I feel like they need to give him something to, I think he's one of those wrestlers that you can push to the main event right away, and he's just gonna give you killer matches, and he's got a really great manager, so the promo part is gonna be already there for him. So I feel like Money in the Bank is like the perfect opportunity for him to just get into that main event right away, and I think some new blood into that main event is really needed at this point. So my pick currently, I'm actually kind of predicting Andrade to win, but I'm also like hoping he wins. And Cam, who do you think should win the Money in the Bank briefcase?
I usually have 3 picks whenever I do like multi-people matches, like it's Rumble or Money in the Bank. I'm either
That's
thinking,
just cheating, fam.
Not really, because it's not like if I pick one person and they lose. It's just like since it's a multi-person match, 3 people. My picks are Almas, Mustafa, and McIntyre.
Yeah, those are some good picks. I feel like the 3 guys you mentioned would probably benefit a lot from winning the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah, for sure. And Ziggler, who do you think should win?
Who do I think or who do I want?
Both.
I definitely think McIntyre is gonna win. It's most likely gonna be McIntyre, but who I want to win is Andrade. And give him his fucking full name back, please.
Oh,
It's
true.
same with Mustafa Ali. Give him his full name back. But
I think I called him Almas in the big
Please.
CN Almas.
Give us what we want.
I want
Give me what I want.
Give me what I want.
I want Andrade to win, but I don't think he will because he doesn't speak English really well. I don't think.
Wow. that's
Um,
mean. Just because
but-
he doesn't speak English, you don't want him to win the briefcase?
Did I say that?
Wow,
I said
you
I want him
did.
to win, but he's probably not going to win because Vince likes people who can speak perfect English. And Drew McIntyre can speak perfect English, and he has an accent, and he's tall, and he's big, and he's sweaty. So yeah, most likely he's gonna win.
Why does everyone have to have promo time? Not everyone can do a promo.
I know, right?
How is it that it's like everybody has to have a promo in wrestling? It's like, can you not?
Right. I mean, I agree with that. It's one of those things. Minimize your wrestlers' weaknesses and showcase their strengths. But I know Vince doesn't play by those rules. He was holding what's his name? Luke Harper. He was like, "Hey, you can't speak you can't speak English with the southern accent, so I'm gonna hold that grudge against
Lacey
you."
Evans has a southern accent.
Oh well, he actually wanted Luke Harper to have one, but he can't do it.
Vince's opinion on Luke Harper literally makes my heart ache with pain because Luke Harper is
True.
fantastic, and Vince is literally just. Ugh.
Ugh.
Oh, wait,
That's it.
why did I say? Oh, Lacey has a southern accent. My dumbass.
Right. And Hound, who do you think should win the Money in the Bank briefcase?
I just hope like with Royal Rumble and WrestleMania that they pick like the right people to like win because like that was awesome. Like my picks would probably be you to win and
What?
probably Sammy.
Did you just say you want you to win?
No, I want Syed to win the briefcase.
You're so difficult.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
All right, okay, serious time. I would love it if like Sammy won the briefcase or even like Finn Balor, maybe even Drew. That would be just awesome. For the women, I don't really maybe Ember Moon. She's cool. And then I hope Seth beats AJ, and I hope Kevin wins the
We were
WWE
talking
title.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot. There's a
We're
woman
just
money. I
talking
didn't
about
answer
the
for the
main
woman.
card.
We were just.
We were
Yeah,
talking about the
sorry.
main briefcase match and not the rest of the card because who gives a good
I-
goddamn
I-
about the rest of the
I
card?
forgot about the woman's
Overdo
Money in the Bank.
everything.
I give a damn.
Yo, Syed.
What's up?
Oh yeah, I want Ember Moon to win the women's Money in the Bank. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Like the thing is, this product is so bad. I forgot there's a women's
Yeah.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I
match.
forgot there was too.
I forgot that Becky Lynch is defending both titles. I forgot
Well, I
that it's still
remember-
cage
I
match.
remember-
that Becky Lynch was
I
still
remember
employed.
that because we talked about it last week,
Shot.
actually.
But yeah, Mandy Rose is most likely gonna win, but I want Ember to win.
I actually don't mind that. That's actually a good idea.
What?
Mandy winning. Yeah, I'm okay
Is
with
it
that.
though? Is it a good idea?
No,
I don't know.
That was it. Horrible.
I mean, the
It's a
girl
why
is just
not
tits
idea.
and ass. I mean,
I
you
mean,
can't really
It's
wrestle.
just there. Song is the better
I mean-
one, to be honest.
yeah, we'll see how it goes down.
You know, go should win just for the hell of it. Dana Brooke.
Oh wow, the internet.
If Dana
could
Brooke
lose it.
wins, I'm gonna throw my big ass TV out my window.
Could you imagine? Climbs up the ladder. She's like, "Yay! I won! I won!"
Dana
my
Brooke has been
boyfriend."
plenty in the bank.
Josiah is a mark for the Wrestling Classic, by the way.
Yeah, we've been
Yo,
known.
he's so cool. Yo, he's great.
Yeah.
All
All right, Sean, who's your pick?
Wait, what match?
for the
Regular
Bank
Money in
ladder
the Bank
match.
match.
You're not even paying attention.
No, I am. I got distracted from your whorish mouth talking, you fucking bitch.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking pussy.
Okay, so the men's ladder match, who I want would be definitely Sammy to win, and then Owens wins the title, and then Sammy cashes in on Kevin. And well, who I think probably McIntyre or Almas.
Yeah, that's a great scenario
But
you
who would
laid
be
out.
facing Owens versus Zayn, though?
Well, maybe that could be Sammy's somehow face. That's Sammy's face turn.
After ranting on the fans?
I kind of don't want another feud with them. I've seen it so many times.
I want another feud
PWG,
with them more
ROH,
than
NXT, WWE. I've seen it so many times. I don't feel like watching it again.
Well,
after their 2016 match from Battleground, that was enough for me.
What?
Who's the whore?
Is Cam the whore?
Yes, but all of
You shut your whore mouth when I'm talking.
shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
You guys are really unprofessional here. We have a guest.
I know, and he's
Yeah,
going to
the children.
experience the podcast life.
Think of the children.
Or not PG
I don't
though.
give a shit about your kids.
Yeah, fuck them kids.
And I cannot stress this enough. Welcome.
Yeah, fuck you, Hound. I mean, I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. Sorry.
Force of habit.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our next topic. Let's talk about AEW's TV deal. It was announced last Wednesday that AEW is going to be airing later this year regularly on weekly television on TNT in prime time. Not sure when it's going to air, like on what day, but the rumors are it will be around Tuesday or Wednesday. And I personally think this is a really huge deal. Like the fact that Turner took a chance on a promotion that's not quite proven yet, but they have a proven record of like selling out tickets in 4 minutes, having great numbers of viewers, like pay-per-view buys wise, because All In sold like crazy. So they have a great track record, but still kind of unproven. So to see them like already be fast-tracked to prime time on TNT, it's absolutely crazy. So let's get your guys' thoughts on it. Cam, what are your thoughts?
So they actually finally got a TV deal. Good for them. Thank goodness. Because I've been basically wondering, when are they going to do a TV deal? I'll probably care about them once they get a TV deal. Until then, they're a quote-unquote t-shirt company, which is wrestlers signed. But I'm actually glad that they got a TV deal. I wasn't I was hearing about, it's the Turner Networks, but I wasn't expecting them to actually get the actual deal to go through. So good for them, real good for them.
Yeah, and it's gonna be great with them sharing primetime with NBA, because NBA usually gets like 2 to 3 million viewers for their games. So and Turner's TNT is in like more homes than USA and Fox, so that's gonna give the product a lot of exposure.
But isn't Fox like a usual mainline channel, like local news type stuff?
Yeah, somebody said like they're both pretty evenly distributed in like all homes. Like I think there are about 125 viewers possible. So yeah.
Like I have all 3 channels on basic cable.
Yeah. Depends on the area, I guess, but yeah. And Ziggler, your thoughts?
Yeah. AEW is on TNT. I went through my cable thing and turns out I have it, so that's cool. I'll watch that in the fall is supposed to come out.
Yeah, later this year, yeah.
Yeah, I mean I'm pretty excited for that. I'm not gonna be able to get the pay-per-view though on Saturday, so that sucks. But yeah.
Yeah, I heard the pay-per-view is gonna be on BR Live. I don't know if that's it's Bleacher Report's live stream app.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's free or not, but I'll have to check in on that. Yeah.
That was gonna be like on Fight TV.
Yeah, it's also available on Fight
as well
Yeah.
to purchase. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I really hope that AEW succeeds on TNT. So yeah.
True. And Shawn, your thoughts?
It should be something very interesting. I mean, you got the new wrestling promotion out there, and it's obviously like nothing can be really on the same level as WWE to these days. But they're starting up. You know, it's the start of something really big, and I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. And Hound?
So I think this is like really awesome, mostly because I have the TNT channel, and I hope it doesn't like I think it's supposed to start like October 1st, which is like on a Tuesday or like a Wednesday, I think. I hope they don't like really compete with WWE because like I still want to watch WWE and then AEW like on another like day, and like I don't know, I just think this is awesome. So glad they finally have like a TV deal.
Yeah, true. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, very awesome news. Moving on to our next topic, let's talk some NBA. And last Sunday, we had some of the most crazy Game 7s ever. Of course, Blazers came back to beat the Nuggets in a crazy game led by CJ McCollum. But everybody that Sunday was talking about that one shot that Kawhi Leonard hit to end the series. The crazy thing is we've had two of those kind of shots in the same postseason. And that shot was so crazy when Kawhi hit it. And it bounced, then it went in. I was like, we're going to overtime, but nope, that ball just went in. Like, that was one of the most craziest moments ever in NBA history. And witnessing that live was like crazy. I was going crazy. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. Cam, what was your reaction when that happened?
It went in like it basically bounced and went in like it was in some corny old sports movie from the 90s.
Right.
I was watching it with my dad, and it was like I was thinking, oh, it's going into overtime, and
Right.
we both just freaked out.
I know.
I was laughing, just laughing like, how did that just happen? Like, you can't script this stuff. You can't script that.
Right. That was crazy. And that whole arena was going nuts. Josiah, did you get to see that shot?
The one Kawhi shot.
Yeah.
I watched the clip of it, but I didn't watch the game live because I was
Yeah.
busy that day. But I did see it. That was crazy.
Yeah. What was your thoughts on like the whole thing though? Like,
I think Kawhi doesn't get enough credit for being clutch.
right. That's very true.
I think because like I said earlier, you know, a lot of casuals they'll start watching the playoffs. That's like the only time they watch the NBA is like when it's the finals of the playoffs. So they don't. Some people don't even like know who Kawhi is because he's
so
they know
quiet.
he's the guy that came from San Antonio, but they don't know that he's like a real like all-star and that he's probably like top. I think he's top 3 in the world. But some people would disagree. But yeah.
Yeah, I think his personality is just he's so stoic and like he just keeps it to himself. He's not like a loud personality like a lot of NBA players, so that's why I think he gets undercut a lot. Yeah, but yeah, that was a crazy game winner though. But yeah, that sent them to conference finals, and currently they're down 2-0. Now, Josiah, famously on this podcast, I claimed that Bucks would go to the finals and they would win the finals. That's my bold prediction. I'm kind of currently keeping that prediction because the series, even though they're down 2-0, they almost won game 1, so anything can happen when they go back to Toronto. What are your thoughts on the series so far?
I still think God, I feel like an asshole. I still feel like Toronto's like they're cursed. I feel like they're not gonna win. They might get one game in there, but I think that, like this
Bucks
is just
in
the
5.
Bucks year. Like LeBron's out of the East, and this is someone had to step up, and I think Milwaukee did it. So I don't think it's gonna be a sweep, but I do. I think it's not really gonna be that competitive though. Like they might get one win, and that's it. But yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it'll be Bucks, and Warriors in the finals.
Yeah. And Cam, what do you think about the series so far?
What I think about the series is it's probably going to be just a Bucks sweep because the Raptors can't get out of the finals, whether it be the long instances of just jobbing out to LeBron or this.
Right. First it was LeBron, now it's Giannis.
It's like, why can't we ever win?
Right.
Maybe
And-
you're just not good enough.
Right. Oh well. Oh my God. That would pretty much send them to into a rebuild if, let's say, they lose and Kawhi decides to dip. Like, that'll be so bad for them. Yeah, that's another thing to look out for, Kawhi's free agency. All right. Speaking of free agency, the draft lottery was happening recently, and a lot of people had a lot of crazy reactions to the draft because the worst teams, which is the New York Knicks and I forgot the other ones, the Phoenix Suns and I believe the Atlanta Hawks, they fell out of the top three, and a lot of people are expecting the Knicks to get the first overall pick, but they ended up with the third. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, this is so bad for the Knicks. I feel like in the long run, this will be good for them. Of course, missing out on Zion is a crazy big, problem. But I feel like they can, in a scenario, somehow dangle that third pick to the Pelicans to maybe entice them to trade Anthony Davis to the Knicks, and maybe Pelicans will take that third pick and reunite Zion and RJ Barrett in the team again. Now, that's my prediction. That probably won't happen. I don't know how keen they are on reuniting them, the Duke teammates, but we'll see. But I was super mad when the Bulls fell out of the top four and they landed all the way down to the seventh pick. That broke my heart because I was expecting the Bulls to at least get fourth or third, so we can draft some stud like Ja Morant. Cam, what was your reaction to the draft?
I was surprised. I was basically surprised. Like, the Pelicans got number one,
right,
over some of the other worst teams in the league. Like, I was kind of half expecting Cleveland to get a top pick because they had a terrible season last year, but they're just in the top five.
Yeah, speaking of Cleveland, actually, Lakers surprisingly landed in the top four. So Lakers with LeBron had a higher pick than Cavs, which is I can't even wrap my head around that. That's crazy.
It's something. It's something.
Right. I mean, it's a bad look for LeBron to miss the playoffs, but
Undefeated, never lost.
Right, but still
And now it's even worse. It's like, oh, we're in the draft lottery and we draft higher than your former team.
Exactly. It's crazy. I don't even know. And that's the thing, they flattened the odds. So it used to be 25% chance for the worst team to get the number one pick, but now they made it so that it's 14% chance for each team in the worst three spots to get the pick. So I don't know if this discourages team to tank or not, but I don't know how that'll go. Josiah, did you have any reactions to that?
To the draft or the cat?
Yeah,
or the Cavs
the lottery. Yeah, the draft lottery. Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but I did see that New Orleans got their number one pick, and I don't know how I feel about that because, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure I'm wrong, but actually, when does Davis's contract end with them? When is he a free agent?
2020, so next offseason.
I'm pretty sure he's out the door. He's probably not going to stay. So, I don't know if they're going to try to. I think the number one pick is obvious who they should pick, but they might try to hold on, I'm fucking dying at this picture they just sent. They might try to, I guess you could say, convince him to stay, ask him who he wants to work with, but I think AD is still out the door.
Yeah.
Hopefully to the Lakers. Probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. But like, yeah, that's a crazy team though. Like with Zion and Anthony Davis on one team. I mean, that's a big tandem. If Anthony Davis is smart, he would stick around because I would want to be teammates with a guy who's supposed to be the next generational player in Zion. So I would definitely want him to stick around to team with them.
Definitely.
But I think he still wants to be traded, but because he's not really that much of a competitor, it turns out. But we'll see how that goes. All right, so with that, let's move on to some Game of Thrones talk. We have our Game of Thrones guy, Ziggler, here. He's going to give his spoiler review for episode number, is it 5, Ziggler? It's 5, right?
No, it's 81.
Oh, no, like for this
What?
season.
yeah, it's 5.
Yeah, 5, episode 5 for Game of Thrones. I know there was a lot of controversy, so let's have Ziggler give his review on the episode, then we'll have a follow-up with it. Go ahead, Ziggler.
I have a lot to say about this. So, I thought this episode was fantastic. It was just really good, and I still can't wrap my head around all the negative hate and the negative reviews. Like it's good storytelling. It's visually stunning.
It's a terrible show.
Coming from a guy who's never seen that episode.
I have, and it sucks.
Bullshit. Which episode?
First episode, the guy gets his head cut off in the beginning.
Wait, what guy?
I don't fucking know. I turned it off after.
Why?
It was boring.
A guy gets his head cut off, and that's boring. Okay.
Yeah, if he was making meth, maybe it would be better.
If you turn off everything after 10 minutes because it was boring, you wouldn't sit through a good movie or TV show.
Well,
okay.
Well, fuck you. Oh man, Josiah, you're gonna love this fish.
But yeah, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by Shawn. Yeah. Yes, there were some moments that I didn't like, but that's with anything, and I think this is the best episode of the season. It was so goddamn crazy. I'm gonna just skip over to the siege on King's Landing because before I do that though, I just want to talk about the beautiful scene between Tyrion and Jaime, just two brothers, kind of knowing that they're saying goodbye for the final time, and Tyrion telling Jaime that you're the only one that never treated me like a monster, and that just really got to me. Their relationship in the show is great, and it was just a nice moment, a nice last moment together between them. Now on to the siege. First of all, Daenerys and her dragon Drogon just laid waste to the Iron Fleet. She just took them out just right away, and then she went all the way to King's Landing and just laying waste there, and then you see and then he cut to Tyrion, Davos, Grey Worm, Jon Snow, and his men at the gates of King's Landing. Right in front of the Golden Company. It's silent at first, and then you just hear fucking explosions after explosions, and then a big explosion bursts through the gates of King's Landing, killing most of the Golden Company. As
I guess we're getting a whole description of the show. Better not
because you never seen it. You don't want a whole description? Fine. I'm giving a spoiler. Fuck you, Shawn. But yeah, no, fuck you, Shawn. I'm done. It was a good episode.
Yeah. So my follow-up question to that is, I remember when you sent the clip of the dragon mowing down the city. Now I'm not gonna use Game of Thrones terms because I don't watch the show, but my question to you is, it looks like Daenerys Targaryen is a good character. Like, she's a protagonist, but somehow she ended up going, quote unquote, mad queen and just mowing down the city and killing innocent people. Why do you think the character made such a drastic turn, and what does that mean for the end of the series?
Like, it wasn't like very like people were complaining that it was like so sudden, like came out of nowhere, and I'm just like, no, it didn't come out of nowhere. They've been building up to her quote unquote heel turn for like 2 seasons now. And
Really? Oh.
yeah, they've been building up to her heel turn, as you would say, for like 2 seasons now, and everybody's like saying like it came out of nowhere, and I'm like, what fucking show are you watching? I'm watching a show where like the past few seasons she's been like showing like heelish actions, you know?
Right. Okay. See, the sense I got from a lot of the online anger was like this came out of nowhere and it betrayed the character completely.
Yeah, it didn't come out of nowhere at all. I mean, I saw it coming like a mile. I saw it coming like a few years ago during the last season.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't know why people think it was out of nowhere.
Now, could you elaborate a little bit more on what led her to actually go Mad Queen and just kill everybody? What was the trigger point for her to do that?
I think the trigger point was she right before. Shawn, stop it, you cunt.
No, the microphone like blew up or something. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
And I heard of the huge like out like.
Oh, all right.
Everything
but
like
yeah, she was on her dragon and stuff, and the day a few days before, like this all happened like in the span of a week. Her trusted Queen's Guard, her trusted like her friend, like her guardian dies, and then in the span of 1 week, her best friend dies too. She watches her best friend get beheaded, and she has just like so much anger built up, and also her fucking dragon dies. This is all in the span of a week, and she is a fucking wreck, and she is a fucking mess. And then when she sees King's Landing, and the same King's Landing is a city where the king or queen lives and stuff, and it just like reminded her of like all the shit that her family went through because of King's Landing. Her whole bloodline was killed off because of King's Landing, and she just went fucking mad. All her anger piled up, and she just didn't give a fuck anymore.
Man, that's crazy.
So it did not come out of nowhere.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a very interesting point.
It was building up for years now.
Okay, yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, I just wanted to get a clarification on that. It's a very interesting topic. Now, one final question. What are your... Now, tomorrow... not tomorrow. Sunday is going to be the final episode of Game of Thrones ever. So, what are your predictions and what do you hope to see happen?
I think that Jon Snow is gonna kill Daenerys and become the king. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for. I know it's kind of like a cliche thing, but I don't care if it's cliche. I don't care if it's like Lord of the Rings or anything. Like, I wanted to see it happen. I've been wanting to see it happen for so long now, and if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be kind of pissed. Because who else would rule the Seven Kingdoms? Who else would rule? Daenerys is mad. She can't do that. Jon Snow's the only person he's actually the rightful king.
Right, King of North.
And he's like a Captain America character. He's a lot like Captain America, and that's why I like Jon Snow so much, because I love Captain America so much.
Oh yeah, I would definitely love to see that happening. Kit Harington is such a great actor. Yeah. That would be the perfect ending, I would say, to the show as a casual kind of viewer looking from the outside. All right, so with that, thank you, Josiah, again for coming in for the episode.
Thank
it was so awesome. So awesome to have you.
Of course, I had fun.
Yeah, man. All right, so with that, we're signing off, and we'll see you guys next week.